Hey, what's up guys, John here. The CarPocalypse has begun. Chrysler has just committed to laying off half of their U.S. workforce through their parent company, Stellantis, roughly 7,000 workers. You have Ford and GM committing to laying off thousands of workers.
Ford's laying off more union line workers as a result of the strike.
Two of the nation's big three car makers announcing thousands of layoffs now.
At the same exact time, Continental, a car parts maker, has now committed to laying off 5,500 workers, roughly 20,000 industry jobs gone. Why? Why are they getting rid of so many employees? Well, it's because the auto market and the auto industry as a whole is going through the biggest change that we've seen in 100 years. And everything that you know about car values and car prices is subject to change under the new rules and the new guidelines that they're now writing. And I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you exactly what the future of the auto industry is going to look like. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate more people about what's really going on in America. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. We'd love to help you. You can click the link in the description below this video, schedule a free strategy session. Take a look at this. So you have late payments now hitting the highest point in 27 years. People simply can't afford that $700, $750 car payment, or the 1 in 5 Americans that have a $1,000 plus car payment. And what's happening? They're just opting out of paying it. They're just saying, hey, I'm not going to pay. Repossessions are soaring because of this. But unfortunately, it's going to get a lot worse over the coming months. Here's what's happened in the last couple of years, so you can see clearly where we're headed. So car prices, as everyone knows, skyrocketed 20, 30, 40% over sticker price, right? People are paying insane prices for used vehicles and new vehicles. At the same time, lenders didn't care because there was money everywhere. Stimulus money, PP loans, everybody had money, and interest rates are very low. And so they were making a ton of money on fees and loan originations. And so someone would come in, they would buy a $50,000 car, and the lender would lend them $62,500 for that $50,000 car. You might say, John, why would they lend them $62,500 on a $50,000 car? That's because they'd roll taxes, tags, fees. They'd roll everything into the loan, and the buyer would just say, hey, that's great. I got the car. I can afford the payment currently because everything's great. I'm making money in crypto and stocks and everywhere else. They drive off the lot. Well, now that $50,000 car is worth $38,000, $35,000. But they're looking at a $60,000 loan left on their vehicle. So what are they doing? They're just opting out to not pay. They're giving the keys back to the bank. That's what's happening. And lenders see that writing on the wall. They don't want to lend anymore. And so here's what's happening. More lenders leaving the indirect auto loans market would significantly reduce the financing options available to dealerships and therefore to their customers. As credit becomes less available, lower income and lower credit borrowers would likely have to accept even higher interest rates for car loans, substantially reducing their purchasing power or even taking them out of the market entirely. Continued increases to the cost of auto loans and restrictions on lending standards would make vehicles less affordable and more difficult to buy. With fewer buyers in the market and reduced budgets for those who remain, the auto industry as a whole could see weakened demand and a softening market. Significantly lower demand could be a complete disaster for the auto industry, already embattled by years of supply chain issues and other hurdles. And for people in need of new vehicles, the lack of available or affordable credit could result in some difficult situations. Now, look at what's happened over the last, call it 45 days, October 1st. October 1st is a landmark date for the auto industry that not many people are following. Student loans due 43.5 million Americans, right? Now, the average student loan payment, $503 every single month. 2 out of 3 Americans don't have $400 in the bank. How are they going to pay this? They're not. They're going to choose who's going to get paid and who's not going to get paid. Some are going to choose to pay their auto loan. Some will choose to pay their student loan. Some are going to choose to pay the landlord. Some are going to choose to spend money on gifts and travel. Some are going to buy things for the holiday season. What's going to happen is we're walking into an era of defaults that we've never seen before. All the easy money, it's gone. Now we're walking into a situation with interest rates at levels that many people are just simply not accustomed to, and they can't afford the payments across the board as these rates continue to rise. But the big question becomes, all of these vehicles that get repossessed, they get taken back to the dealer. They're going to put it on the lot when they realize no one's coming to buy these cars, because how many people can afford to go buy a car today? At today's interest rates, not many people, right? What are they going to do? They're going to have to keep reducing the prices. It's going to be a race to the bottom for these used vehicles. And many people are going to continue to look out front. They're going to open the door to their house, their apartment. They're going to look at this car in the driveway, and say, what am I going to do with this thing? I need to get rid of this car. I need to downsize it. I need to figure something else out. And you're going to see a wave of crises unfold throughout the auto industry. As this is happening, car insurance premiums are making things even worse for those trying to hold on. So that's a familiar laminate, considering that the annual inflation rate for the U.S. motor vehicle insurance hit 19.1% in August, the largest year-over-year increase in 50 years, in half a century. And there's little relief in sight. Prices are likely to keep climbing well into 2024, along with the number and size of claims, ensuring another rough year for auto insurance buyers and sellers. Nationally, the average cost of insurance is a mandatory expense for most U.S. households, nearly $1,700 a year, up 17% through the first half of 2023. Auto insurance now leads up about 2.4% of average household income, according to Insurify's mid-year auto insurance trends report. Much of the price growth goes to soaring claim costs, which are closely tied to surging car prices. Both new and used car prices rose sharply in the recent months due to supply chain snarls and chip shortages. The consumer price indexes for new vehicle prices increased about 23% from August 2019 to August 2023, while costs for used car and truck rose 38%. So you're walking into a crisis when it comes to these vehicles, just keeping them on the road. Now, many people say, I think it's going to be worse than 2008. People say, John, there's no way. There's no way the auto industry is going to be worse. You could buy a used car in 2008 for $7,900. $7,900. The average price for a new car payment, $729. You could buy 4 used cars on the same payment schedule for a new car today. So you think about this. You could rent an apartment in most cities for between $600 to $800. Now you're spending $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 or more in most cities just for a basic apartment. We're in a situation in which we've never experienced before. It's like a frog in warm water. They slowly turn the heat up. That's what's happening to U.S. consumers. That's what's happening to America. Car repair costs also up almost 20% over the past year. 20%. And EVs are appending the 100-year-old supply chain. So what they're predicting, they say that combustion engines have about 2,000 total parts and electric vehicle powertrains have about 20. And so they say that revenues for internal combustion engines, as well as fuel and exhaust systems, are expected to decline 44% through 2027, according to 2023 Deloitte Automotive Supplier Study. Meanwhile, revenues for electric drivetrain batteries or fuel cells are expected to rise 245%. So it's going to get so much more to service these vehicles in the coming months and years. And if you look at how they're now laying out everything when they're rebuilding and re-identifying how they're going to build out these car manufacturing plants, look at this. Like, it's unbelievable. They're going to get rid of many of these employees. If you think about, they say that there's about 20 parts, right? They say about battery electric vehicle powertrains have about 20. Think about how much easier it's going to be for them to mass produce electric vehicles compared to 2,000 parts on a combustion engine, right? It's going to be a big, big benefit for these car manufacturers. Plus, you think about all the tax incentives, all the government subsidies, all the money getting pushed into electric vehicles. But one thing people aren't really thinking about is what this is going to do to people inside of the mechanic space, people that are actually servicing these vehicles. Everything is going to get pushed directly to the dealer, directly to the manufacturer. They're going to be able to control the entire process and keep people, they're going to build out a monopoly over the industry and keep people under their thumbs. So we're walking into something really, really, really big that's not getting any attention. New car market, prices are about to plummet. Is now the right time to buy? So, says the U.S. car market has shifted into lower gear in only a matter of a few months. After average car prices hit record high as recently as last summer, some analysts now predict that an oversupply of vehicles will lead to a price war that sends prices plummeting. A report from UBS estimates that global car production will exceed sales by 6% this year, leaving in excess of 5 million vehicles that will require price cuts to get sold off the lots. This is not including distressed lenders that are trying to unload this inventory. Those price cuts could be coming in the back half of 2023, and automakers are preparing for a price war. Some electric vehicle makers are already slashing prices. Given the bullish production schedules, we see high risk of overproduction and growing prices pressure as a result. UBS said in a note to its clients, the price a war has already started unfolding in the EV space, and we expect it to spread into the combustion engine segment during the second half, right? So right around now. Makers of family cars are most likely to suffer from price cuts, and the analyst said EV makers might take a major hit due to the combustion of soaring energy costs and higher prices that many consumers are out of reach. And they note that in January, Elon Musk Tesla slashed prices by about 8,000 pounds, right? So you're looking at all these changes that are happening. You look at all these changes that are unfolding over the last couple months. This article came out September 22nd, right? So you start to look at this. We're walking into a tsunami inside of the auto industry, a massive, massive wealth transfer that's unfolding. And I believe it's going to trickle into real estate because very similar policies were enacted inside of the real estate market. Easy funding, easy access to liquidity, heavy leverage. All of this is changing. Even in the insurance space inside of property, in the property market, all the problems inside of the auto industry are perfectly translating into the property market. Insurance rates for properties are skyrocketing as well. We're walking into a massive opportunity for investors and entrepreneurs. I believe something in which we'll probably never see again. What do you think about this entire situation? Drop below, we'll have a conversation about it. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer of all time, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. Catch you in the next video.